think that, oh, it wasn't being recorded. Thank you. Thank you for remember that. Yes. But if anyone has a question or something like that of this that we talk, because we have just remembered to record this, please feel free to write me at the end. I'm going to put my contact. Okay, this kind of I want to create a category of others. So to create a category of others, I need to make the step that we are going to make. Okay, so we are going to use conditional column, and with conditional column, we are going to make this category. So the housing, commercial, that is trade, industry, and non-building urban development. This is like streets and all that part. This is the one that we want to keep, and we want to leave the others like others. Okay. So let's go to Power Query to keep doing this. Okay. What I'm going to do now, so we are going to add a column, add a new column that has this category. How do we do that? We go to add column, and we have the possibility to add column. We can make a column from examples, a custom column, invoke a custom function, etc. Well, we are going to use this conditional column. This creates this pop-ups, this menu. We can put a name here. Maybe this is resumed names. You can put whatever you want. It's something that just for us to identify it later. And I'm going to do this a little bit. Just pay attention now, and then I go slower just for you to do. What I'm going to do is find the column where the name is. The name that we are going to find is on the column that is called obra, that is like category. If this is equals, I'm going to use the same equals, and I'm going to use the word habitacional. You can choose to say, okay, if you find this word, let that word, and you can say, for example, let the same name that it comes here. So it will let just the same that it finds. If you in the column obra, you find habitacional, then give me what it says, what it said before in obra. It will be just a word. But if you want to make it at English, this is something that new that we can make, you can put housing. Or I don't know if housing is like the better word for this. I don't know if there's other. Let's try to make it in English because I have never done this. Okay, so I'm going to put the word here so that you can use them. First is habitacional. And as we are going to make more categories, we add a clause. Until then, okay, if this is equals habitacional, then leave housing. Else if we are going to choose again the column obra is equal to comercial, that is trade. What is the best word that you understand for comercial? I'm not sure if trade or commerce. What is the one that you are more used to? If someone has an idea, okay, business. Good idea. Maureen. Business. Or if any other word that you think that represents better, here goes everything like restaurants, supermarkets, whatever. Okay, I'm going to add a clause. The next one that we're going to do is also in the same columns, if it's industrial. I will find this like industry, but I don't know if you have another word. If anyone thinks of one better, can write it, industry. And I will keep on going because it's just same, equals. If this one was, let me remember the word, urbanístico with accent. Okay. Then I will try to use a smaller word, maybe urban can be the word. To use something shorter, not to be so long. And to make the others category, I'm not going to say that go looking everyone. I'm just going to say if it's not housing, if it's not business, if it's not industry, then for all the other just left others. Then we will have a shorter names and we will need to have like saying this one is other, this one is other. Always that you do on conditional column to make a new classification, just work the easy way, like try to get the first one, like saying the ones that have a direct name and just left the others like else, so you don't need to write it many times. I'm going to make a shut screen from this because it's quite different than the one that I sent you on the presentation, but if you want us to have the same name, there you can see it. Okay. And then when you have already, just click on OK. Now we have this one, if this one, we can make a little check. This is housing, and then here appear housing. Then let me see, we have some other names. This is sports, this line, and we have industry. Let's see if it works. The line of sports comes as others, and the line of industry comes as industry, and it seems to work okay. Okay, then now we have a new category. This is something that I told you that is important to make it on first do the append, because if we did not append this first, then we have to replace value on each table. We will have to check the names on each table, and we will have to add a column on each table. So please always remember, append it first and then work on the new table that we created. Okay. Now we have our conditional column, and this part I will try to make it more free, and I will try to make it with you because now we have prepared all the information. And now what I want you to have like a reference, because feel free also to make it different if you want, is to make this dashboard the most similar to this one that we have, where we are going to put the years as a slice, that it works like as a slice. Then I want you to make a chart that is divided by month that says how much it has. And also I want you to put these categories as selections. So if we want to say how much is the construction in one province, we can see the difference. We can also see specifically in one canton, and we can also see if we want a district in particular. We can also make, if we want just to see, for example, I want to check only the housing, and then I can make all the same just by checking the housing in these places. So let's start work on this. The first that we are going to make is this slice with this kind of visualization. So as we have finished work on Power Query, then we can go home and say close and apply. It will take a while because now Power BI has to download completely all the tables, all the years that we have chosen before. And is it going to download all? And then is it going to run the append as a formula? So you're going to see that first it charges every single table, and until all they are charged, the append will be completed, because Power BI needs the information from the table because before it appended. Just remember something, that maybe we all did not use the same quantity of years. So if you don't have all the same years that I will have, is maybe because we didn't use all the same years. Okay, remember that we need to work with append, because append is the one that has all the information. We can see it here. If you use the table view, you will see that append has more than 350,000 rows. It is a quite big database that has the resume names column that we created, and that already has the changes in this. I found a problem. I don't know if it appears to you, sometimes it depends. But if, as you can see, the data, the day column is not being recognized as a day. It's not being recognized as a. So we need to change this, because is it not going to work as a date if is it not recognized as a date? This is a mistake. Sometimes I have seen that this also depends on how the computer recognizes the date. We in Spanish use day, month, year. Sometimes when you have configured your computer maybe with the US kind, that is month, day, year, or when you have the international way, that is year, month, day, it may present some problems. But at this moment, the thing that is more important is that this column is recognized as a text, and it will give us problems because it's not recognized. If you see, for example, project, that is an ID, is recognized as a number, that is okay. And the area, that is the dimension, is also recognized as a number. This is perfect. All the rest should be recognized as a text. This is perfect, but this one can be recognized like that. So we need to go back to Power Query to check what is happening. Sometimes what I do is just I click here and I say, okay, I want to go, okay, here in append, and I say, okay, I want to go back to edit query. It will get me back to Power Query. I can also go to the home menu and use the transform data. That is this bottom. Sometimes you may see your computer like this, because with the whole symbol, I like to have this space bigger. This is why I collapse this ribbon, and that is why you see my computer maybe smaller than yours, but it's the same information. It's just that I collapse it to have this menu bigger. But okay, I want to go back to transform data, and into transform data, I will go to append, and I will make sure, I will say that this column has to be recognized as a date. How do I do that? If you see in the front of every column, for example, here in project, if it says 1, 2, 3, is because on it automatically recognizes this as a whole number. If I want to change the way it is recognized, I just click a new one and it will change. So I go to the column of the date and I say, okay, this is not this is not it should be a data. I may click and it will fix it. And now it transforms it into a date type. And it by itself, it will write the code to say, This is all the code that we have writing, and it says, okay, change type, and this column type, make it the type of date. I will say it fast again, just in case someone has problem with this. Just remember, I return to Power Query Editor. In Power Query Editor, I choose the append, that is the one that resumes all the tables that we uploaded. And I go to the column that is called fecha, that is the date, and I change the kind of column by choosing here. This is not the only place where you can change. You can also go here and in transform, you can say, okay, this tape, and you can see it here. You can also, I think this has like 3 different places where you can change. I think that Power BI and Microsoft in general has always like 3 or 4 places where you can do the same, but it's just, I prefer this because it's like closer. Okay, Usman has a mistake. Maybe uh can you take a shot screen to see what is the kind of mistake of error that is showing? Because if the mistakes come from just 1 year table, I don't know, maybe Usman, I don't know, the table from 2021 is the one that has a mistake. Maybe we can erase that table just to keep on going. And yes, this is what Victor says is true. Maybe if you have a different set, and sometimes this is on the regional uh, configuration of computer, so it can be a little difficult to change because the file that I send you in Excel has is construct is made on Spanish data set time. But okay, it may happen. It may happen, and this is something that the part of that we need to do when we clean all the information. Okay, let me see, Usman. Osman shows this mistake. Ah, yeah, you have a lot of mistake with. I think that it should be as Victor says, it should be with the format because this is working very well, but you have this one. Victor, I don't know if you are making this also, and if you have found 1 year that may have this problem more than others. Just want to check if we can recommend Usman to delete 1 year completely and try to avoid this trouble. Has anyone else has this problem with 1 year of information? Well, what you are saying is something that may happen always that we work with different databases, and is I feel good that we find this kind of mistake, but it's just something that Power BI normally helps to. Okay, Osman, for example, if the table that get this mistake is, I don't know, is this is an example, then you may come here and let me see. I think that I can find. See, for example, in this table, this column is recognized as a year, as a date from the beginning. In this table, this one is recognized as a date from the beginning. But let me see, there's always one that this one. 2021 has a mistake, and this one is not recognized as a date from the beginning. So it should be because of this. Sometimes I'm seeing that when a date come with hour and with time, not only dates on and time, this sometimes confuses the computer. So in the cleaning, you have to change these lines to just date, not time. And sometimes when you take out the date, it works better. Maybe, Usman, one that you can do is you can erase table 5 if you have table 5. I think that this also happened with this also table, with this other table that has time zone. But okay, this has to be clean in order to get this. Maybe not to lose it. What you can do is if you go to append and you have these tables, if you go to the advanced editor, you can erase from here table 5 and table 5 number 2, just not to use them and use a simplified version, and maybe that will help us in this case not to have this problem, because there's a way to do that, but it's not my objective to show you how to clean like line by line, but it can be done if we recognize where the mistake is. In this case, we can work with the rest of the table that is working correctly. I just want to know, normally in Africa, what kind of data time do you use? Like more similar to Europe or more similar to United States? This is something totally new for me.
Yeah, I
I've
think
never been to
it's
Africa.
more yeah, it's more similar to Europe. We
Okay,
have day, month, and year.
okay, okay, perfect. So, Osman, I'm going to continue, but if you have any, if you can clean that, we can keep on going. Okay, now I have to put close and apply because I want that the change is going to make again. So it will be, it will run again, and then I'm supposed to get this column as a date. Let me see, and it has changed as a date. As I have it in Spanish, then it recognizes the name in Spanish, martes, lunes, Monday, Friday. If any one of you want to practice Spanish, then you're welcome. But let's put it in a number format that is easy to understand. Let's not try to learn Spanish today. Other day we tried. Okay, now we have it as a date. How do I know that is recognized as a date or is not recognized as a date? One of the first places where I look is in this part where this column, for example, area has this summarized symbol. This means that it's recognized like a number. Project is also recognized like a number, but date was not, was just like this, and I needed to be recognized with this calendar. That means that it's a date column. And why? Because when I open this, I will get the hierarchy. Sorry, this word. This is something that just remember this word in Spanish. Jerarquía is hierarchy, I think. Sorry, that one. Because you will get the composition of the date in separate parts, by year, by quarter, by month, or by day. So, as what I'm looking for is to get this table just using the year. I don't need to get all the date. I just need to get the year. So I'm going to start using the dashboard. I'm going to say I want a slide, or I can use the make a slicer, put it in the superior section of the dashboard, and I'm going to say, okay, in this one, I don't want to use the date completely. I just want to open the hierarchy and use the year. And I can put it here. And then I'm getting the years that I want. but it doesn't look the same as we are doing now. I will open this a little bit. Let me try to. The first that it does, because this is a number, it uses like a slicer, and I don't want to use it like a slicer. I want to see it like a button. So I have to tell this function, okay, this is very nice, but I don't want to use this format that you're saying me. This may change the way you see because it depends on how recent the version of Power BI you are using. What I'm going to use is to open the format, and in the format layer, I think that you maybe can see it when you have just trying to remember. I think that sometimes for you it comes in the apart from this menu, you have like a format bottom here. To me, it appears here in like a side button, but the menu is the same. What I want you is to get to format, and in a slicer setting, I want you to change the style from between to tile. And then you have tile, you can return it the size. I just make it bigger to make it easier to see. But if you make it smaller, then it will fit to the size of the space that you're given. And now you're getting a bottom of every year that we're using. Just remember, if you only use 2 tables, 3 tables, you will get here the years of the quantity of table that you have used. Okay. Just I'm going to return to the web page. So you can see we have the first part. Okay. Then the second part that we want to use is how many square meters we have per month. And this is something very similar that what we have done before, because see, this is stuck. Okay. I'm going to choose this stake column chart. So I put it in this same part. I'm going to make it bigger, then I will fit to the size that we really want. Okay, just remember, we want in the y-axis the number of square meters. So I want area in axis, and in y-axis, and in the x-axis I want to put the date. I can only choose the month if I want. So I will get how many separated by the 12th month, sorry, is what I want to say. And if you choose the year, I'm sorry, I didn't have all the years. You will get the information only for that year. I didn't share this years. Okay, so I have it here. In the one that we have published, if you don't choose any years, all the years will be seen together. This is because in this case, we did not only put the month as a data, we put as an X information, we put the year also. In this case, what we did is that we put month and year. I will add year. Let me see. I will also add year. And as you can see, sorry, here. If I put it like this, it will be shown as a list because it uses both hierarchies. By using this button that allows me to drill down or drill up the information, I can go and choose if I want a different composition. Sorry, in this one. I go up, then I see it, and then I go down to the next level of hierarchy or expand all in one level of the hierarchy. And I'm just going to use it for you to see what happens. If I go to the next level, here I'm in year. If I go one other level, it put me all the months together. And if I go in, that's all what I can go here. I will go drill up again. And if I go here, it will show me all the categories together. That it was year with month together. What I normally use is this one, where I get this information. But I can also, for example, if I want to use, I will then go slower to let you do that. In this part, I only want you to see. I can also use the year as a legend to see it differently. This is if I choose, sorry, I have to choose cluster column chart. No, we only want year. So with this legend, I just want year. No, it's not going to work now. So okay, I will leave it only here by the moment, because sometimes this depends on how it is seen. Okay, I can use all these different parts of the of the build of the charter to put different information. And for example, I can put here information about the province, for example, or I can put some more information. What we are looking normally is to have it like very simplified so that with the buttons of the slice, you can choose how it looks better. So in this case, let's do it easier. Let's just keep this cluster column chart, and having the custom color chart, we put only the month here, we put the area, and just by clicking year by year, we're going to get the number. We use better to see the this name, the data labels. I can turn it on so that I can see the data label in every month. Okay. Okay, so just remembering, we make a cluster column chart where we put the month on the x-axis and we put the area on the y-axis. And so we can see this. We normally also use this total, that is like the number when it's easier to see the total amount. And then we are going to make this one. This one, we make it using this one that is called cart. So I'm going to put a new section that is called cart. And in this same section, I will add area that has the information. It normally, Power BI has like it used to simplify the number to put it in a very short visualization, but sometimes I prefer to see the whole number to see exactly if we are putting the same information. So I want to change how this number is seen. I don't want to see it with aggregation of million. I want to see the whole number. So, okay, remembering, I make a card. In this card, I put the information of area. And now I'm going to go to the menu of, that is this one the same, to the menu of format. And I'm going to the part of call out value. And in call out value, I go to display units. And I'm going to say, I don't want you to use auto. Power BI will choose what is the category that he uses. He has millions, billions, trillions, thousands. I will say, don't use anyone. Just let me the numbers, but I don't want it. I don't want any decimals. I leave it on 0. And now I have this number completely. Okay. So just remembering, we have make a card. In the card, we put the area. And in area, we go to format. And in callout value, that is how the value is displayed, we decided to change the display units from auto to none. So let me the number complete, and we use with 0 decimal value. Now we have this value here. We can put it, if it's too big, we can change the size maybe to 40 or any other number. You can check if it's okay by going to the web page. Let me see if it's okay. If we choose 2023, we have 10,612. And if we go here, we have, no, I remember something that we have to check in order to, now I remember. Yeah. In this chart, we have separated all the electric information because it is quite big. We have one just for electric values. This is not something that I want you to do, but if you have any difference with the number that we have here, it's because here it includes here we don't have the electric amount, the project that has electric. We only use the rest of construction. So in order to get the value, the more similar as possible, this has a mistake. I will charge it again because I know that this number is not okay. So let me see one moment. Okay, in 2023 we have 9. Yeah, I know it, that we have a bad number. We should have 9,000,074, and in our Power BI we are getting 10,672. Why? It's just because the idea I told you, because we are counting electric and we don't want to count electric. So we may go to the Power Query and eliminate all the lines that have electric, or as we may also use it, and it may be also important, we may only filter in this dashboard. We are going to do that. We are going to filter. And in the filter, you can say, okay, I want filter, for example, on this visual, and I want to filter something only on this visual. I can have a filter on this page, and everything contained in this page is going to be filtered, or I can have a filter on all pages in the case that in that information I don't want to see in any of the pages that I will create or that I can create. In this case, as we are going to work only with one page, I will hide the information only in this page. For example, in this publication that we have, I have to hide only in this one, but not in this one. So if you see the data that create this Power BI, I use it just the same that we are going to do here, where we filter only on some pages that we want them to be filtered. Where is the information about electrical work? Let's go back to the data, the table view, and this information about electric work is this one that is here. You will find it on classification. Then, knowing where it is, I go back to the dashboard, the report view, and I will choose as a filter on this page completely. I carry classification and put it inside, and I will say, okay, you can choose all but electric work. Then I go to, this should be a button off, okay? I can find it. It's applied automatics. Okay, so in classification, it will be use all that is not electric work. And now I should have the same value. If this is okay, let me see. Everything not. Okay, let's go back here. I should have 9,074,000, and I have 9,098,000. I don't remember why. Maybe something changed in the database that I have to update the other one. Let me see if this one is okay. 10,040,41. 10,040,41,884. 10,040,41. No, that is bad. Decimals. I don't know why this is not exactly the same. It used to be or should be the same, because here is 7,566,801. 7,566,801. I think that just 2023 doesn't wants to argue with me, but some reason that I don't know. But if it works by you, yes, I don't know why. This is getting this mistake. 2022 is 8,968. 2022. No, yeah, there should be something with electric that I don't know why they changed. But well, in this way, we are creating this one. Let's go back here. Okay. Oops, I'm running out of time. I will try to go faster. Okay. The other thing that I want to copy is this administration. And so I'm going to make this, to copy this province. Normally what I do is that I drop up here. Normally it put it just like a table format, but I say, okay, I don't want it like a table format. I want it like a slice. Normally I put it like bottoms, but then I say again, no, thank you very much. I don't want that kind. I want it like a drop-down list. Why is drop-down list more useful? Because you need less space in the dashboard. And if you have a list that is very long, it will be only be displayed when you ask, and you don't need all the space always. You are only going to use the space when you choose and when you work with the space. So I think that this drop down is better because it's easier, and it helps to have more space in your visualization, especially when you have to put a lot of information. Okay, so I have province, and maybe to make it easier, I can copy this visual, like control copy, control paste. I know that I'm copy just the same, but I can put all together, and then I only change, instead of province, I go back to this format, and sorry, this one is the one that I want. And instead of province. In this second, I want canton. So I put canton and erase province. And in this one, I want district and I take out province. So now I have all the menu. And as you can see, the number and all the visualization are going to fit to what I'm choosing. Okay, the next thing that I want to add is a pie circle saying if is it billed by the state or not billed by the state. That is this word exonerate, exonerado. This is that is public or private construction. So I'm going to make a pie chart, and in this pie chart, I'm going to choose where was it? Exonerado as a legend, and in value, I'm going to choose area, and so I get this kind of information. For example, we have some places, I'm going to make it a little smaller. We have, this is something that I know, we have some places where there's a lot of commercial activity like Belén, and you can see that almost 99% of the what is constructed is private construction. And we have some parts of our country that are poorer, the people have not so many money, so the government is the one that construct the most. And for example, in Matina is a place where almost half of what is constructed is because it's financed by the government and not by private. This is something that is very interesting because this is a very easy way for people to see how it's different. We have we try to give a lot of speech of this to government authorities and all to use this information to know how it works in every place of our country. Sometimes when you go choosing, you choose here, you choose here, you choose, and then you have a you have to eliminate many of the filters that you make, and that's why I helped this button. I love this button. When you put it was insert, you choose you go to bottom, and in bottom you choose clear or slices. It appears here, and I put it here. So when I'm working in some seeing things, and then I want, okay, no, I want to go back to the beginning, I choose this button and I go back to the beginning. So it's easier to start choosing again because clear all slicers get me to the back previous condition. We're just saying again, I go to insert, I go to buttons, and in buttons, I go to clear all slices, and I put this button inside my dashboard to help people to clean all the information and restart when they are doing something. Okay, I want to, I need another one. Kind of, I forgot this. I need one more space and to copy this one, district. And instead of district, I want to use our new resume names because we are not to use the whole names that we have. We just want to use the resume names, and I add resume names and I have the list that we created. I need, why don't I have urban? That is why isn't working well. I missed one category. Maybe it's because of that. Well, I will check it later. And finally, to get this same kind of information, we have also a chart that has the resume information with the quantity of the square meters. So we copy a new cluster column where the x-axis is going to be the resume names that we created, and the x-axis will be the area. Yeah, something happened with urban. I will try to check. But then, as you can see, this is created almost in 1 hour and one continent away. The same information that we have here. And this is something that we have created See why. I don't know why this got stuck. Sometimes when it wants to. I love Power BI, but sometimes Power BI doesn't love me. Okay. What is, if you want to make it finally look like that, well, you only have to work on colors, work on putting the those plot and black on area, for example, to put the reference, no reference line, to put the this was normally I use it in visual border. In size and style, I like to use visual border to get the visual border of every one of these and put some colors and things like that. But as you can see, we have this working just the same as the other information. And I don't know how are we on time, Felix, but I think that is what I wanted to show you. How you can get urban information, how you can create a a dashboard with urban information that can be used for many, many things, and just making some extremely quickly examples, knowing how important housing is in our countries, uh, seeing how you can separate the information, how it needs to be clean. Sometimes it's easier when you have done the information, but sometimes you need to check and investigate a lot to understand how the information goes. And I hope this example works for you. If you want to see this one in real life, you can always find it in our webpage. That is something that you get in the information. And also, if you want to know, what we do here is that we put a lot of open data. We have also not only make this, we have one dashboard, for example, with the engineers and architects. If people wants to know how many women, how many men there are, how many architects, how many civil engineers, electric engineers, and all that, we have 30,000 engineers in Costa Rica. Most of them are men, is the main group from 35 to 39 years. Most of them live in the capital city. The most of them study in Costa Rica. Most of them are married, but you can come and see difference. For example, in architecture is where more women, 41% are women. But if you go to civil engineer, we have only 20% women. This is something that can be used. And this is like the kind of open data that we have been working on. And I don't know if you have any questions. If it was too fast, if it was too slow, I hope that when you check up the video, you can finish all the questions that you have. And I say that please feel free to write to me. I thought that I put the email, but no, I'm going to put my email. Please feel free to write. In case you have any other questions. And thank you very much, Felix. I love this chance to talk to you and hope it can be repeated at any time.
Yeah, thank you, Marcia. Gracias por su valiosa facilitación. Thank
Con
you.
gusto.
So, do we have some questions for him? Yeah, I know really tried by taking his time to go slowly, more like do as I do kind of session. So thank you so much. So I don't know if we have anyone that probably you would like to clear up something.
I think Maureen has a question. Please, how can you repeat how to change the slicer from all to tiles? I think this is, let me show again.
You are muted, Marcia. Sorry.
Sorry. Thank you. I was speaking like from half an hour, I think. Sorry. Thank you, Felix. Sorry. I will try to repeat. I choose year. I will make it again very quickly. Okay, I have year. Then when I have year, I want to make it a slicer. When I make it a slicer, just because it is a number, it will prefer, Power BI will prefer to use between, but then I go to the format menu, and in format menu, I go to slicer setting. In the slicer setting, I can see the difference. I can use between, I can use vertical list that I will get it as it were a number, and at the bottom, I can use tile, that is the one that we see. I can use drop down, that is the other one that we use, between also, greater than, equal than, but it's here. Here you can choose the way you want to see it. I think that we have another question from Ofarma. Sorry that I don't know. I will not say any of your names well. Sorry. Thank you so much. This is your first contact with Power BI. I hope this is the first of many. Great. Enjoy a lot, Ufarma. Power BI gets, I started working with Power BI maybe 8 years ago, 9 years ago. And yeah, you're gonna love it. Dorothy too. Let me say something that I want to say before. I think you're a lot of scientists, you know a lot of information. Power BI helps a lot because it's very visual and it's very easy to use. But I think that the way that Felix has thought this train is very good, because when I have to do a word cloud, when I have to do like some great data analysis, I prefer R, I prefer Python, I prefer all the other different tools that we have. But when it's about making dashboards, I prefer Power BI. That's for a lot. I think that you need to know all the different, and I think that Felix has resumed in 1 week an extraordinary analysis of different for analysis and for seeing. If someone told me why Power BI is one of the more used, Tableau maybe 10 years ago was very famous, but it became very expensive. Tableau costs, I don't know, more than $500, but Power BI, you can, many of us already use Word, many of us already use Excel spreadsheets, many of us already use PowerPoint, so we have to pay an 365 license, so we get Power BI free, for free. I know that it's not for free. We have to pay a license, but we are already paying for other things. So I think that I really invite you to see the uses of the dashboard, because it's very convenient, but don't think that you solve everything with Power BI. Don't miss R, all that Felix has said, don't miss Python, don't miss the rest of things you have learned, because it's helpful, but it's not the only thing that you need to know. Let me see if there's another question. Sorry if okay, Fama. Azorli, please, how will you save Power BI dashboard as video? As time I do see dashboards and so which. For example, I think that I would not think of making a video, because when we use Power BI, you create your own story. Let me see if I can explain what I'm trying to say. I think that I'm showing again. Yeah. This that I was telling you about how many men, how many women, how many engineers, where they study, where that is, because I know the story. And so for example, I can say, okay, engineers and architects in Costa Rica are most married. But if you go to architects, you will find that more of them are single. And this is something that I know, that I when I tell the story, I want to guide you through using this dashboard to tell the story. But maybe if you want to record this story, then just use PowerPoint to record the screen or something like that. But Power BI should be open always, because the story that I want to tell you maybe is not the story that you want to tell, or the story that someone else wants to tell. For example, someone may wants to say where they live. Maybe someone wants to say, for example, civil engineers. The graders, people who have 65 or more, are only men. There weren't women studying engineers 50 years ago. But if we go to recent time and we go to architecture, there are more women than men studying architecture. And this is something that, as I want to tell the story, I use the dashboard and I go through telling that. But if you want to make a video, then maybe use PowerPoint just to record the screen, and then you can go telling the same story, but just using the dashboard. I don't know if it was your old question. Sorry. Catherine, before the pie chart visual, can you show how you did the province, canton, district again? Yeah, let's go. Okay. What I did is that I wanted to make like a menu where I can choose them. So I go this and this clean. I choose province. I put it here in the dashboard. Then I say, okay, I want you to become a slicer. Then it becomes a slicer. Again, it shows me like ribbons, but I want to go to format. And in format, I say in the laser setting, I don't want like a vertical list. I want like a drop down. And having this drop down menu, then I can use it in smaller places than the one that it used before. Okay, Catherine, absolutely okay. Great. I love your questions.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Do we have any oral question before we wrap up?
Wow, that is a whole thing, sorry, using maps. The first thing to use maps is that you have to be sure how you got the information. So I will try to explain it because it's not necessarily easy. We have two different kind of maps. We have map and we have fillet map. That is very similar to shape map. Okay. When we use this map, you need to have a database with latitude and longitude. You need to have an X and Y coordinate if you want to use it like this. It won't work if you don't have like this. If you don't have coordinates, then you will have to use this one, that is field map, because field map works with the name. Let me try to explain. If I put here province as a location and I put area as a value, let me see, then if I choose one province, this is not working well. This is not the size of the province. But if I go like this, then I will get the map showing me the value that I want to know in all the zone. It uses like the whole state and put the information in the whole state. But when I know exactly where the point is, I can use adding coordinates. Now I don't have a database with coordinates. I can, oh, well, I have an example here with other of our database. We do not only have data from construction, we have data from survey contract that said what is the land that you owned. This database has X and Y, and this allow us to say, For example, just using the same information, I will choose 1 year, I will choose one place in our country. Yeah, let's choose one that is one that I know that has many data. Santa Cruz. And then when I have this, I can make heat maps like this. But I need to have a point that says me where it is. This one, I make it, this map that I'm showing you, this map, I make it using this option of map. But when I don't have this kind of information and I only have the name, then I have to use, let me see if I still have this. I used to have it with a map. No, I take it away. But I don't know if I can explain. If you have information with X and Y, you use the map the map part, and if you have the name of the state, of the name of the province, of the name, you use field map. But you have to be sure that you have the whole catalog and all the information well. You can also use postal code when in your country it works. You can use postal codes also. Thematic map show where cases are high or low. Yeah, it will show the number greater or slower if you have that. Abdalaya, can we use this presenting the progress in academic data? Let me see if I understood your question, Abdalaya. Can we use this in presenting the progress in academic data in the last 10 years based on the student data? This is open data. You can use whatever you want because this is the idea. It's open data to use it, to learning, to everything. Any other question?
Okay, I think there's no other question. I think we have pretty covered all of the questions for today. Thank you so much. Marcia again. Excelente facilitación. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so we would be calling it a day, and you know how you can always reach us. Please remember to fill the
Dr.
post
Felix, someone
training
has
sub.
their hand raised up.
Okay, Precious.
Yes, please.
Okay, Precious, go on before we wrap up.
Precious, please go ahead. Probably a mistake. Yeah.
Or maybe the mic
Okay.
is also like me. That I have it.
Yeah, I think I have given her an opportunity to